What were you saying though?
I was asking. I said, do you know why Justin Bieber really grinds my gears? And then
Tell me why, Peter Griffin.
I didn't care for The Godfather. What? How? Because whenever I say what, like when I texted you, what do you mean? I just hear that fucking song. It gets stuck in my head. What do you mean when you're running out of time? What do you mean?
I really don't know Justin Bieber that well.
What do you mean?
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
You never heard What Do You Mean? Watch it not be Justin Bieber.
Oh my God. Wait.
Okay, thank God.
Okay, cool.
I was going to be like, that's really embarrassing.
I really don't know Justin Bieber. It's like, I was like, baby.
When he was like 13.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. He just felt like, I don't know. I'm old. Let's lead us in. This
is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Come on, Grandpa.
Hey, energy.
This is weird.
What? What's weird?
That second question right there.
What
Yeah?
order should I play Fable? Well,
I mean, in the 1, 2, 3, 4. Like,
you never know. Sometimes it's like the third one is the prequel or before everything.
Fable's not like that.
Yeah, I know. How you doing though? No, how's everybody doing? Hey, the world out there. Not you anymore. Screw you, Tommy. I want to talk to them.
Well, talk to them. Tell them what we're doing today, then.
Today, we are going to be talking about, we're going back into the list thing again, our individual top 5 most influenza of death. Sorry. Influential video games or video game franchises in a way that made us the great gamers that we are today. That was
You're so eloquent. The games
long-winded.
The games that made us love video games.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a good way to put it. So we thought about it for what, like a week, 2 weeks?
About a week. About a week
and a half. Just
about a week. Just a little bit of
5 games that we absolutely loved and why we liked them, basically.
So yeah, that's what we'll be talking about. But before we get into that, how about we do a little checkup? We'll see. Dr. Henthorne over here is going to talk to Dr. Dallum. No, that's not going to work. I was trying to do a patient doctor checkup thing, and then I get derailed.
Bend over. Cough. Good. I've been playing Stardew Valley finally.
Yeah,
got into that. That was cool.
They give a little description on that because I've never played it, but I've definitely heard it's like it's a little bit like Animal Farm.
It is not. It is
it's
not
nothing like Animal Farm.
Nothing like Animal Farm.
It's not. It's not an old novella.
Animal Crossing. Is that what you meant?
Fun Marxism.
It is not. I mean, that would be really cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. Animal Farm video game. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Animal Crossing. Yeah, it's like Animal Crossing, but then like still has like a weird like.
It's like Pokemon meets Animal Crossing meets Minecraft.
Yeah. So.
It looks like Pokemon.
Okay, that's why it's like Pokemon. Because you say if it's like Pokemon, I'm thinking it's
not
like
mechanically, just the
it's
top down.
It's like an RPG type thing.
Yeah, it just looks. It just
okay. So
feels
you're
like
pretty
Pokemon.
much you're playing like an updated Harvest Moon.
Yeah. That's a better Harvest Moon. But then I say Minecraft only because of the like you explore mines and fight monsters, and you can't go out at night.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a monster element that you have to be aware of, and like a time element.
Oh, do the monsters destroy your crops?
No, but things will, like earthquakes and stuff. Like I woke up after an earthquake and I was looking around. I was like, I hadn't really built a whole lot, so I was like, okay, I guess that's nothing. And I realized my fence was like utterly destroyed. I was like, oh, that's what the earthquake does.
It destroys property.
It destroys property. Got it.
You should be able to die in an earthquake.
But it's pretty fucking chill. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. I get really bored with games like that super fast.
I'm timing myself on how long I will actually be invested in this. I don't think very long, but I think it's a fun thing to pick up just if you have like an hour to kill, because it's not. I mean, you can't really get a lot done in an hour.
I mean, if I have an hour to kill and I want to play a video game, I'm going to play probably like Tetris or I don't know, some fighting game for a little bit.
that Resident Evil looter shooter that we played.
Oh yeah, what was that called again?
I don't remember. It's Resident Evil 8's online, not online competition. Anyways, that's what I've been playing. Yeah. Sorry, trailing off. That's not important. But I've been playing Stardew Valley, and it's pretty fun. I really like the look of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, it's very cartoony and
it's very it hits a nostalgic point.
That's fair.
From like Pokemon Yellow.
I mean, I don't think I could get into a game like that again because of how much I played Harvest Moon when I was like younger. And also like I also played Harvest.
I never played Harvest Moon.
I played it on an emulator, and when you have an emulator, you can like time skip.
You can like fuck with it really hard.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I really need this tree to grow so I can sell it. Fast forward 3 days and 2 seconds.
And that kind of kills part of the whole experience. I feel like if you're to play Saints Row and you get like an unlimited money cheat, that just makes it feel cheap. You know, like
actually, that's how I got introduced to The Sims.
By cheating?
Yeah, I think it was Sims.
Same 2. Thing. You can't though. It just takes something very core out of the experience.
That's also probably the only thing I ever could sit through Sims is because like when my first experience with Sims was knowing the passcode or the code to get unlimited money.
Well, Sims is boring as fuck. I'm sorry if you like anyone that likes Sims. I have tried. That's a game that I've tried so hard to get into and and I just can't do it. I have all the expansions for it. I have like the whole fucking kit and caboodle, and I try every time. I can last about an hour before I'm like, I can't do this.
It's like I don't know. Yeah. Those weird simulation games are really just not my jam. That's kind of like what it is.
Well, what is his jam is what he's been playing recently.
Fuck. So I recently found out that I had Hollow Knight on my PlayStation. Apparently I got it for free with the PlayStation Plus, my PlayStation Plus, a long time ago. And I've been playing the shit out of that. I'm also like, I mean, we've talked about Ori and whatnot, so like, obviously, clearly I'm into Metroidvania style games.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how hard Hollow Knight was going to be. 1, 2, I was like, oh, there's no game difficulty. That says something. And 3, this game just is mean.
It's just so crazy to me that you're so I'm like, that's one of the reasons I haven't picked it up. And I guess that you don't really listen to video game podcasts as much as I do. Yeah. But everyone talks about how unforgiving that game is.
Yeah.
It's the Metroidvania, like I was saying, it's Metroidvania Dark Souls.
Exactly. That's the best way to describe it, is a Metroidvania Dark Souls.
It doesn't care about you, your family, or your life, and it will ruin it.
But it has a cool storyline to it that I still don't understand.
Like a Dark Souls.
Yeah. There's like something with dreamers and like I'm the king, but I'm like a ghost, and I'm making it. I really like the mechanic of your weapon is a nail. Because like all the enemies and creatures are bugs.
Oh,
so like since the bug is generally not very big of a thing, so like a weapon for them would be like a little nail.
That's cool. So you're a little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
Oh, I do love that. That's why I love Little Nightmares. You're a little guy.
Yeah.
And big stuff. And that's always cute.
Oh, yeah. And some of the giant bugs that you fight are hard as fuck.
Dude, that'd be cool. What if they did that game Grounded? It's for the Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, basically.
Yeah.
What if they did like a borrower's survival game?
Isn't that kind of what Grounded is?
Kind of, but like you're outside. But same kind of thing.
Oh, you take it inside?
Inside, and you have to find batteries, and you have to be a borrower and make your little house underneath the floorboards and avoid the humans. And
that'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool. I would play that.
Right? That'd be
for an hour.
Basically, yeah. Right. Still, I want to play Grounded, but I don't have any friends on Xbox, so I can't play online with anyone. I got to make more friends.
Well, when I get money, I can get my Xbox Series S, and then
Yeah. Money's not the problem. With that,
no, the Series S is, I think, kind of available now. That's because it's the one that's online only.
Oh, it's the smaller little box one.
The digital one.
It looks like a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah,
weirdly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing Hollow Knight, and I really enjoy it. Not for the faint of heart, I guess.
I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah,
I'll watch you play it just because the art looks cool, but I'm not gonna play it.
I've gotten really good at fighting.
I can't afford buying a new Switch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Getting frustrated, motherfucker, which I almost did with Ori.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people have done that.
thrown their Switch and broken it.
Well, like rage quitters that throw their controllers.
I think they're just like, I'm not gonna play this handheld.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they're foresight. They're like, maybe not do that.
I'm kind of I've been a controller thrower before.
Never.
But like, I've never thrown it
cheap.
at my television or at the wall. It's more of I get really frustrated and I slam it on the couch.
I did lose a Wii remote into a TV once.
Damn.
Yeah.
Into a TV?
Like playing with it. Like,
oh, you didn't have the wrestband on?
I was like, I'm gonna, and then it just went clunk. Like, oh, shit.
Oh, but it didn't go into the TV.
No, it like broke the TV.
It broke. How? That's impressive, actually. Well, I guess those things aren't light.
No, they're like little bricks.
Yeah. You beat someone with a head. Die. Here's some fucking Wii Sports for you.
That's a weird clue weapon.
Wii murder.
I believe it was Jacob Henthorn in the living room with the Wii remote. All right, do you want to get into our lists?
Yeah, let's do it. I kicked off last week. Oh, that's right. I had a shout out really quick. Which, all right. So my shout out is her name, which what we were just talking about. It was leading to Hollow Knight is Super Metroid, which I wanted. Like, I don't really add that from. I mean, it definitely was an influential game, but I played a lot of platformers and scrollers like that Metroidvania style through my entire life. But I will definitely say that like Super Metroid was like, I actually didn't even like fully finish and beat Super Metroid until probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
Thank you very much. You just reminded me of my fifth one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, that's
fair.
Yeah,
because I definitely had played Metroid. I played like Castlevania and stuff like that. But like Super Metroid, I just like, it's kind of like almost my number 5, but I mean,
didn't quite make it.
Yeah, and like, cause, and I also don't want to like say the Metroid series because I've never played Metroid Prime. I've never played any of the Primes. I've only seen gameplay of it because I never had a GameCube.
I was gonna be like, yeah, okay. I feel like actually weirdly, like if you could get your hands on a GameCube,
I would have a fucking blast.
I think there's a lot of games on the GameCube that you
or
would
even
really
just
like.
a Wii that works because I could play GameCube games on that.
You can?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, the Wii's, yeah, you can plug, yeah, because it's the same disc. Oh no, Wii discs were bigger, weren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, you could put in GameCube discs into your Wii. That's how I played Melee all the time. Yes, trust me. Because there's also a plug port for like on the OG Wiis.
Yeah.
There's
I have an OG Wii.
They have plug ports for GameCube controllers.
Huh.
You didn't know that?
I never knew that.
Dude, that's how we were always playing Melee at the apartment. Oh no, we were playing Brawl more.
We were
than
playing
anything.
Brawl, yeah.
But we had Melee. I mean, we played Melee every once in a while as well.
I don't remember ever playing Melee.
But yeah, no. Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. We could go dust that guy off. Do you want my Wii?
Nah. No, I mean, if anything, I'd borrow it for a little. Like, if there was a game, we have to get the games first, man.
That's like let's go to Pinkarilla soon.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
Like,
a fun game date.
Yeah, let's go pick out some like Luigi's Mansion.
So now that I reminded you of your fifth, and you have now another list. Do you have a quick shout out?
Yeah, actually, I had one that was kind of I couldn't think of influential game. One escaped my mind. So one that I kind of put in that was kind of just a cop out, just because I played it so recently. I'm gonna say it was definitely Witcher 3, and again, kind of a cop out because if anyone listens to this, I just played that in the last.
You've been playing that like on and off
forever.
Yeah.
Now.
But I mean, it was super influential for you. You know?
Yeah, and I think that one's a very cool game because I've come to realize pretty much all of my lists are very much like in a weird way morality based, like decision making kind of games, which I really like. But what I thought was interesting about Witcher specifically is reading the books, watching the show, and then playing the games. You play it as what would Geralt do, not what you as the character would do. Because he has a very set code as a Witcher. He has a code that he follows. Then he's very clear about it throughout the books. So when you come to a decision, you don't make I really want to do this, but Geralt wouldn't do that. Geralt
that's how you play The Witcher?
Yeah.
That's interesting because generally you
play as your character and what you want to do, but I always played it as what do I think Geralt, like if in the book, what would he actually do in this situation? And I just thought that was a very cool.
So you can get as close to the most authentic experience of the game as possible.
Yeah, I'm like Geralt.
You have become Kratos.
Well, and it makes me it's fun too because there's a mission in I think the Blood and Wine expansion where you get possessed by a ghost, like you make a deal with a spirit that he'll tell you where like this hidden treasure is if he can live a day in your body. So Gerald's like, all right, like I need this, like fine, whatever. So then you play as Gerald, but as this different personality, which is way more like rambunctious. And he was like a Viking type. He's drunk and he likes to party and he likes to get laid and all this kind of stuff. So you're able to play Gerald as this kind of more loosey goosey fun character.
Interesting. Okay.
So it was weird. It's like, okay, so now I'm not playing as Gerald. I'm playing as this other pirate Viking dude, but in Gerald's body with all of his powers and his abilities. I was just like, oh, that's a very, very fun game to do that with. So that's a shout out for me.
There's definitely our lists are definitely going to reveal how different of gamers we are.
I realized that pretty quick.
Yeah. So I mean, as everybody knows, like we play a lot of similar games, but then there's like the games that one of us love or finish.
Is very different. Did you actually rank these from like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Or are you just kind of like they're all kind of?
I haven't actually kind of ranked 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, really? Okay, mine are just kind of just across the board. I didn't
because I definitely have like a number one.
Okay. Then I can make my number one really quick.
My number one's kind of a cop out to be honest.
Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you? Since I kicked us off last time, why don't you kick us off this time?
Do you want to go with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
It's the best for last. Come on.
Best for last. Okay. Yeah. I guess then my number 5 would have to be Evo on the Super Nintendo.
Oh hell yeah! That does not surprise me. That's on your list.
That was really
and that's also a
fun.
deep cut.
That's the one I couldn't remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised you couldn't remember that.
No, I was like, I know it's an older game.
And then it said Super Metroid, and you're like, Super Nintendo.
Oh, there we go. And that's the thing. I was like, it was so long ago.
That blows my mind that you couldn't remember that because you were playing the shit out of that when we were
not
first
too long
living
ago.
together.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. That was like a decade ago.
Oh, so yeah, that's right. and I got it a decade before that. For those of you who don't know, maybe because it is kind of a deep cut.
It is a deep cut.
Evo is a pretty rare.
It's one of the rarer cartridges
to
own for a Super Nintendo.
And I got it when Hollywood Video closed down.
Fucking steal, bro.
Yeah, I got it for like $3 or whatever it was. But Evo is a simulation, I guess, kind of game.
Yeah,
simulator-y.
It's a simulator RPG type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, it is all about evolution. So you start off as like a small little fish in the ocean, and your goal is to become a mammal. Yeah. Through all the different periods of Earth, basically. So you start off as a fish, and then you have to like find all these power-ups and become an amphibian to get on land. Then you have to become a dinosaur, and this whole time you have to like pick what you customize your creature on. Do you want them to be more of like a predator, or do you want them to be more defense-based, or do you want them to be fast? And it was just really ahead. Like we wouldn't have Spore without this. You know what I mean? It was a very unique thing for when it came out.
It reminds me a little bit of like Civilization as well.
Yeah.
And like the old, Civilization is Civilization, but like I remember playing I had Civilization for the Super Nintendo.
I bet that's really fun.
I wish I still had that cartridge. That cartridge is probably kind of rare too.
Oh, I have Sim City.
For the Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is that rare?
I mean, it's not like one of the rare ones, but just the fact that it exists blows,
Do you know what the coolest thing about that actually? Like just as a weird little tangent. You can turn on disasters.
Yeah.
Like fires and floods. When you turn on the kaiju.
You can turn on kaiju?
Yeah, guess who it is?
It's Godzilla, yeah. No, it's not Godzilla. Is it Mothra?
It's Bowser.
Oh my god.
That's a huge Bowser. And he comes running through your town, destroying it.
One of the coolest Easter eggs.
Isn't that rad?
That is so cool. That's hilarious.
That'd be really fun. We should hook up this. I don't even know if our TV has anything to hook up the Super Nintendo.
I think my TV does.
Maybe you need to get
I have my Super Nintendo. I have a converter already.
You do?
Yeah.
I need to get one. But yeah, so Evo is probably my.
I was bringing up like Civilization because like that like building like skill building thing is like you like in Civilization. I'm liking it to Civilization. It's like you choose like we need to learn like fire or masonry or like so you like choose a skill or attribute to learn, and then that like unlocks like a skill tree type thing to like go further into like this thing or that thing or that thing. Yeah.
And then just because of what
I just realized that Civilization had a skill tree, and that wasn't that. I'm like, oh, that's what a skill tree is. Like, oh yeah.
I mean, like all the evolutions you can do are pretty basic.
Is there anything like if you focus too far into like one thing, then you can't learn another thing.
No, that's what I mean. It's kind of like basic in the sense of like you only have so many options, and if you change, like when you're a fish, if you change it to where you have like a swordfish nose, then if you spend all this time getting a powerful shark jaw, that will negate that.
Yeah.
So now you'll just have the swordfish nose. You won't have the swordfish nose and the jaw. You'll just have like this main way of attacking.
And that's definitely that's a flaw with like old video games.
Yeah, it's just it was
it's like something's
a
like
test of the time.
It's like as soon as you choose something like that, then like the things that wouldn't be beneficial just kind of like go to the wayside.
Yeah, so that's kind of frustrating. But I just remember like really enjoying that game as a kid, playing it again as like a young adult, being like, this was really cool, like cool and ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And now it's just like a fun thing to fuck around with because it's got the 8-bit music. It's like when you're in ocean and you're kind of being guided by this kind of like earth spirit kind of leading you to the final goal. Like it's hard too. I've never made it to mammal.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I've never made it. It's fucking hard.
That's crazy.
I mean, I could try now, but
yeah,
Super Nintendo games, if you were bad at them then, you're probably still bad at them now.
I don't know. I just played all the way through an NES game.
But you're a better gamer than I am.
Well, old school gaming, I guess.
Yeah,
well, but you do. I mean, I think like now it's like you probably have more knowledge than you think you do than you did like even 10 years ago on how to play the game.
That's fair. But yeah, that's my number 5.
All right, cool.
That's my shout. What is your number 5?
My number 5, this is kind of more for a franchise, but I do have a nod to a specific game of it, is the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Cool.
And a specific nod to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo. Which is the one that I just played the most of out of all of them, and it's the most broken one out of all of them.
Does that make it fun?
Huh?
The fact that it's broken, does that make it more fun?
Yes.
Because sometimes busted ass games are fun. Dark Void, is so busted. It's fun.
What made it super. I mean, it could. This when I. Beginning of time, internet. So around the time that I was playing, like
Bill and Ted, when did you get here?
Yeah, right. Especially like around the time that mid 90s is like kind of the beginning of like when the internet started like really pop, and that's when American Online, you had like the dial-up internet. Yeah,
getting yelled at your parents.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get on the internet. I'm trying to call my boss.
Yeah.
So you could find like all of the move sets for all of the characters online. Like there's like FAQ, like game facts or game FAQs, I guess what it's technically called, but I always call it game facts. And
frequently asked. Okay.
Yeah. And you could get all the like their finishers and whatnot, but then for the Super Nintendo games, like they put in like secret codes that you could enter in on the main menu to unlock extra menus to like turn on like big head mode or invisibility mode or
like an OG cheat sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
And
that's cool.
It's kind of like in the newer ones, like you have to go through the crypt with your like combat or your conquest coins, and then as you do that, you unlock all of these things for it and whatnot.
You actually have to like pay for it, quote unquote, in-game money.
Yeah. But like you just put it and that's also how you unlocked like hidden characters. So like you could so Ultimate Kombat 3 had every character that Mortal Kombat lore up to that point as a playable character.
That's cool.
Except for I think it was Kitaro, which was the sub-boss in Mortal Kombat 2. He kind of literally is forgotten in Mortal Kombat lore. I have no idea
who you're talking about.
I mean, you'd never played the Mortal Kombat series.
No.
As much as I did. I mean, you played what was it, Mortal Kombat 11 you just recently got?
Yeah, I got that one, and then I had one for the Game Boy.
Which was probably just Mortal Kombat.
I can't remember what it was.
I mean, I think only Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
Distinct memory of standing in line with my mom at McDonald's playing it. That's like the only memory I have of it, but I very much remember.
And it's weird black and green pixelated.
It was cool, though. Yeah. That was my first time I ever played the tower.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of mechanic.
So hard.
Yeah.
But like
on 11 real quick, though, I have a question.
Okay.
Is Shao Kahn a playable character? Can you unlock him? I saw him on sale. Do you have to buy Shao Kahn?
Yes.
That's bullshit.
I mean, he's part of a character pack.
I know, but just
I mean, that's what they do now.
I know, but I'm like, Shao Kahn, what the fuck? Anyways.
Oh, he is super OP still, but they made him more balanced.
Well, I just think the whole like I don't like that you buying the. Like I get like if you want to buy Rambo, like sure, you want Rambo randomly in Mortal Kombat or RoboCop, but like when it's like an OG bad guy, I think
he was part of like the first like DLC package that would come with the game if you bought it.
Okay. Anyways, go on to your.
Yeah. So I mean, I was never very good at these original like Mortal Kombat games.
Very different now.
They're because I mean the mechanics in Mortal Kombat back in those days were just like super janky. Yeah. And like, I mean, my brother was really fucking good at these games, like Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and Street Fighter.
Ooh, Killer Instinct.
Dude, he had his own website for Killer Instinct.
Really?
Actually. Yeah. Like, and that was actually like the #1 used Killer Instinct website for a long time.
Killer Instinct's hard.
Yeah, no, and he would wreck people with it. He was so good at it.
That's you turn into Monster.
No.
What am I thinking of?
I have no idea what you're thinking.
It was on the GameCube. There's one on the GameCube.
No, Killer Instinct is like, I don't even know really how to describe it.
I thought it was the one where you're like
you have characters like Fulgore and Orchid.
They can turn into like werewolves and shit.
Well, there's one character that is a werewolf.
Oh, I remember maybe on the GameCube they made it like a transformation thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either. Moving on.
The only other Killer Instinct game that exists other than the first one is Killer Instinct Gold for the Super Nintendo or for the 64. So, yeah, but I mean, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is definitely the biggest one, which led me into like I've always tried to own the most recent Mortal Kombat game since then.
Yeah.
Like from Mortal Kombat 3. I didn't get 4 because then I was 64 for really or a PlayStation. Actually, I went from like systems owning. I went from a Super Nintendo to a PlayStation 2.
That's a gap.
Yeah, but I just played on my friends like 64s and PlayStations and stuff like that because my family didn't really have the money until finally I was able to buy my own PlayStation 2 with my own money. But yeah, so yeah, I would say the Mortal Kombat franchise. I mean, also like it really was kind of my introduction to like fighting games and learning like move sets like that, like the down quarter circle forward Y for like a special attack, and like remembering that like that's just a very common like back forward A, back forward B, back forward X, like just try these different like combinations with characters. I'm like, oh, well, that's a move. Oh, that's a move. Oh, that's a combo or that's a thing, to where, just whenever I'm playing any type of fighting game, while in the midst of me like kind of butt mashing, I'm trying to like do little things here and there.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Because because you don't, like I said, for these, like you had to go to the internet to like find all the characters' moves, or sit there and practice it with a friend and write it down yourself and remember it.
It's like the beta for Minecraft.
Yeah,
you had to like little notebook of your formulas.
Yeah.
To, like, okay, this one, this, and this.
Yeah,
because
there was no like movelet. Like you can just like pause, and be like, okay, so I want to see what this one looks like.
Yeah,
but I do like how in Mortal Kombat, like the fatalities, you have to unlock them.
Yeah,
like unless you actually know what the moveset is, which you could just look up online for that now. But like there's a reward system, like trying to figure out the fatalities and whatnot.
I've never once pulled off a fatality successfully.
Well, we're gonna have to play some Mortal Kombat, and I'm gonna have to help you out. Big brother Jacob will help.
Did you ever play Tao Feng in the Way of the Lotus or the Way of the Fist or whatever?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's another fighting game. It made me think of it because it was for original Xbox. And probably not then.
Yeah, of course. We've talked about this. It's an Xbox game I don't know about unless it's Halo.
It's the first
or
game.
Fable, I guess.
It's the first game I ever played where they have a damage mechanic.
A damage mechanic? What do you mean?
So like
a life bar?
No. Like if you like do the right kind of hits in the right kind of way, you'll make them rip their tendon.
Oh, that's cool.
So they'll like limp. Or like if you like are fighting, there's like a cat. They're all kind of generic. There's like a tank. There's a cat lady. But you get like scratches and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you asked about a fighting game. It's like there's so many weird like underground fighting games, and like on the Super Nintendo, so many shitty.
Yeah,
garbage fighting games.
Well, that's the thing. Is like a lot of them are just shit.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your numero Quattro. I was like, wait a second.
Real quick, I was just going to put in Knights of the Old Republic because this is actually what made me a Star Wars fan.
Is this your number 4?
Yeah.
Oh, you said really quick I'm going to put in. Oh, like this is your nod for, yeah.
Well, this is my number 4, and it's like that's really why it's influential. Because I liked the movies and everything, but this is what made me more interested in the lore beyond the movies.
Oh, okay.
And the history of it. And again, I liked the whole you could be good, bad, and it was kind of...
Amoral.
Amoral.
Oh, not amoral. Like, more. Is it amoral? Is that the technical term?
I don't know. Well, it's one of those things that's like... It's a lot of these games have the same thing where it's like...
They're decision-based.
Yeah, but it's also like... I like the idea of there is a group of people that are going to say it's bad. There's a group of people that's going to say it's good. If you align with the Sith, they're going to like you doing bad shit. Like, it's a good thing. If you align with the Jet, so it's just kind of like, it depends on who you ask.
And that's actually kind of an interesting one because, like, there is a lot of people that, even that are like, I would say, good-hearted people that in any other game would probably make like, oh, let's make the good choices, But in Star Wars, like, oh no, but I relate more with the Sith, so I'm going to make Sith-like choices.
Yeah, like whenever I played these games, I was either a gray Jedi or a Sith. Sith just to be evil, and I always felt guilty about it. But especially the first game too, because the writing for that was great. That's got a great twist. The character has some amazingly memorable characters. So the first Knights of the Old Republic is my number 4, just because it made me really... I mean, granted, all my extended Star Wars knowledge is for naught. Doesn't mean shit anymore.
Yeah,
but,
right. How old is that game? That was an Xbox exclusive too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it maybe computer as well? But when did that come out?
That came out 2011.
Really?
Yeah, December 20th, 2011.
Wow, actually, I was expecting it to be older.
I was too, actually.
Was it an original Xbox or was it Xbox 360? When did the Xbox... Oh, wait, no. Release date was 2003. It says right there. Right there it says 2011. Why does it appear... Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Wikipedia release date.
Oh, yeah.
2003. That
weird.
Makes more sense.
Why does it... That is weird. Maybe it got re-released in 2011?
Yeah, that's weird.
So 2003 sounds right, yeah, on the original Xbox.
Raven, unless that's the... What? Well, that's... All right, internet's giving us conflicting things, everybody.
I'm going to go with Wikipedia.
That's fair.
Because it's an entire wiki page base. I don't know.
Game Engine, Odyssey. Yeah, because I was like, wow. It's like I was like 2011, we were living... Like, I was living in Seattle. You would move to Seattle. Like, this is a game you played when you were a kid. It has to be 2003.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be 2003. And I was like, it can't be Xbox 360.
We just did detective stuff last night. Shouldn't be that hard to figure out this.
These graphics did not age. I was like, if this is 2011, man, these graphics were shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's my number 4.
Cool.
And Malik, he was fucking rad. And Raven were fucking rad.
And Malik is the Sith Lord, right?
Well, they both are.
Oh. Wait, which one is the one that is like the Darth Vader knockoff?
Oh, that's a Malik.
That's
the
Malik.
The one missing his bottom jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Malik.
And then Revan is...
Spoiler alert, I get 2003, you're a Revan.
You are Revan.
You are Revan. You just don't remember being Revan.
Oh, really?
That's the big twist, is that the main Basila character... Sorry, y'all.
I mean, it's so old.
The Jedi basically did like some kind of Jedi mind trick to make Revan forget that he was Revan.
Oh, okay.
And then by the end of the game, you discover you are Revan, and you can either disband the evil Sith Empire, or you can take it over with your evil girlfriend, and you become the Dark Lord Revan again.
So hold on. Like, the whole idea of the game is you were trained, you were a Sith Lord.
Betrayed by Malik.
And then you forget everything, so then you can, like, relearn all of your Jedi abilities by either becoming a Sith or a Jedi, or a gray Jedi-ish.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, it's like, oh, but you were supposed to be the Sith Lord the entire time, so then you can choose to continue your reign, or to then take your reign.
Take your reign back from Malik, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's like, I took the Empire. I was like, fuck yeah, it has this really cool pan-out scene with you and Bastila, who's the... Yeah. And it pans out, and you're just, like, in front of your Sith army, and they all, like... Hail Raven or Revan. Shut up. You felt pretty fucking powerful. It was pretty. That was like a legit, like, oh yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Well, my number 4. It's also like, it's very showing of that different systems of games that we played on. Because my number 4 is Super Nintendo: A Link to the Past, and the Zelda franchise in general.
Yeah, shout out to the.
But I definitely like A Link to the Past was the first Zelda game that I played like 100% through. Like the first Zelda game, Legend of Zelda on the NES, is really hard. And I could never really get very far in it because
I haven't been able to.
It's like there's just not very much any direction. Like most NES games, like they're very much, especially like RPG type games, you aimlessly wander around for so long.
And again, it's the technology of the time.
And if you literally miss talking to one person in one area, like they're almost like little puzzles as well. They're like little riddles to solve with things. Yeah. It's like, well, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Hopefully I'll figure it out.
But like my brother back in like the early 90s and late 80s, if you were stuck in a video game, there was a Nintendo help hotline.
I remember. I've watched I Love the 80s.
Yeah. And my brother used to get on it all the time.
Did they charge you for that?
No.
Oh, they didn't?
It was free.
Really?
Yeah. As far as I know, I mean, my mom never complained about like a phone bill being
pretty
weird.
Sure that was like a by minute thing.
I don't think it was actually.
The Nintendo help hotline?
Yeah, I think it was like 100% free because like video games weren't that big yet.
Oh no, I was just watching the documentary about like the documentary series, like the video games that made us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they said that you had to like pay for that.
You could pay for extra for like a Nintendo Power or like for them to like you were supposed to pay for like extra stuff for them to send you, but you could call and be like, I'm stuck on this level.
That is so weird.
And they'd be like,
oh, weird concept.
Or maybe like my brother would just fucking like knew how to schmooze people because my brother is a fucking
the young kids today won't understand.
But like my brother also got free shit sent to us.
Oh, that's cool.
Like we got like walkthroughs and stuff sent to us for like, or like not walkthroughs, but like little like guides and stuff. Like Dragon Warrior 4, like we got stuff my brother sent to us, and Dragon Warrior 2. It was fucking yeah. But yeah, Link to the Past. It's actually one of those games that every so often I'll like on my Switch or I'll pull up my Super Nintendo, or I've had a Link to the Past on my Switch, my 3DS, my Super Nintendo emulator. Like I've played it on like multiple different like platforms that you can, and I can beat it in under 24 hours with everything. Every quarter heart, every hidden item.
Good.
Huh?
I take it that's good.
Dude, like wake up in the morning and just
before you go to bed, it's over.
Yeah. Like I've done it. Like I did it at a friend's house actually once. They were like, you can't do that. I'm like,
you want to bet?
All right, watch this. And then like they would like he left for work, came back. He's like, are you still doing it? I'm like, I told you I was gonna beat it today, man. And he's like, oh shit. People are coming over. We're ordering pizza. They're like, whoa, Jacob's doing it. Type shit. But yeah, and then like I do also want to give a nod in this to like Ocarina of Time, because like that was super like groundbreaking for a Zelda game going into the 3D world. But I personally put A Link to the Past as more my favorite and more influential because of just it introduced me to like it really got me into the Zelda series, and Ocarina of Time was, you know, just like a great improvement, and I'm like, oh my god, this it can get so much better. And then now Breath of the Wild. Oh.
I really want to try Majora's Mask. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a sequel to Ocarina. Did you ever play Ocarina?
Mm-mm.
I think you might.
Ocarina. Sorry.
I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but I think you would like Ocarina better because it's
Twilight.
You would probably, Ocarina or Twilight. I mean, literally, like, even like Skyward Sword. Majora's Mask is a very much more time-based game.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That sounds interesting. The art style looks cool to me too.
I mean, we feel like
Twilight.
The art. For Twilight Princess.
Well, for
that entire era of Zelda is like kind of very similar. Like they're all very close.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ocarina, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword starts to get a little bit more.
But doesn't they start introducing the fucking?
Yeah, you don't have to use the Wii mode
nunchucks
stuff. I mean,
is that what they're called? Nunchucks.
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 It's nunchucks, like the weapon.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like going to be more clever.
Michelangelo, come on.
I thought it was going to be more clever.
The Wii chucks.
Nintendo chucks.
Ninchucks.
Ninchucks. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, those four games. all kind of live in a very similar art style ish. Like more, yeah, because then you have like Toon Link that lives in like the like Link's Awakening. Wind Waker. That's the game I was thinking of. The Wind Waker like style of Link is very much different from everything else. But yeah, number 4 is A Link to the Past.
Right on.
Tommy's number 3. Are you struggling?
Yeah. I guess number 3. Yeah, number 3 is going to be Fable.
That's going to be Fable?
That's going to be Fable. Because, again, morality, I'm going to be a broken record here, but I liked how the stark difference of it was, you go evil and you start growing horns and like shit like that. I guess, no, Fable 2.0, or what was it? Fable The Lost Chapters, which was like...
Is that 3 or...
No, it's Fable 1, but they basically re-released it on its anniversary with like a DLC.
Fable 1.5.
Yeah, like it had this DLC that was really, really cool. But it's classic hero stopping the bad guy kind of thing.
This was an Xbox exclusive,
yes,
right?
This was only on Xbox. And the art style was really great, and it was really zany, which was really fun. It was very serious while not being very serious. Like, and your hero never had a name except what you'd go to a name guy and pick.
Oh, you'd pick a name.
You'd pick a name.
You don't like spell a name.
No, you would pick, and that way when you walked around, if you were famous enough, the NPCs would be like, "Oh, there's so and so." But like,
would you actually hear it?
Yeah, they would yell your name, and that way you picked, and like things would unlock depending on what you did, like what grand things you did. But like the first one, the cheapest one you can get is called a chicken chaser or chicken kicker.
As a name?
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, look, this is the chicken chaser."
Oh, so it's like a nickname.
Yeah, it's a nickname. Like you're known as the I can't remember what they're called. They're called like Balverines, which are like werewolves. The Balverine Killer and stuff like that. They're just these titles. They're titles, nickname titles.
Here's the chicken kicker.
The chicken chaser. I think it's chicken chaser.
That's the chicken chaser. Look at him go, chasing the chickens.
And you could keep that the entire game and be this super big like warlock badass.
Chicken chaser. Yeah. Chicken chaser.
So it was awesome. It was like really silly and really fun. And the shout out to the whole franchise because I liked 1, 2, and 3. Didn't like the quote unquote 4th one with the Connect bullshit, but they were fun.
It was called Fable 4, wasn't it?
Because I think the one coming out is called Fable 4. I think this is like a weird. It's kind of like a standalone kind of thing. Fable fans pretend that one didn't happen.
It's like Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so Fable is definitely really fun and like it was really. It was weird, very customizable while also being limited, and it just made a really cool world. And the monsters. It was.
And it's like you said,
Witcher.
You choose between like good or bad, and like there is no gray.
No, you can do neutral. You can.
Yeah, but like, isn't it like the more evil you get, like bigger horns grow on you or something?
Yeah, like first you start balding.
You start balding
because the horns are coming through.
Oh, so you like live in this weird gray area of like balding and bulging before horns grow.
Yeah, and then if you're benevolent and really good, eyes become very like magically blue and your hair gets really, really like blonde.
But there's really like the end of it is like
you get a halo.
There is like the good guy ending and the bad guy ending.
Well, that's what's really funny. So the initial game, you get the Master Sword, and to get the Master Sword, you have to kill your sister.
I'll see it.
That's like the most evil thing you can do. But then after, and it's the most powerful. It's like the most powerful weapon in the entire game. So it's like this conflicting. Like, do you want it? Because you can still play after the fact.
Bro, what you doing?
Oh, shut up!
Gotta kill your sister.
So basically, in the initial, I'll wrap it up real quick. In the initial game, you can get the Master Sword by killing your sister. Yada yada yada. When they added the DLC, it is. Then after you make that decision, it jumps you in the future, and you basically the bad guy's name is Jack of Blades, who you kill and like take his sword. Basically, come to find out years and years later that Jack of Blades has somehow come back to life.
Okay.
And so then it's this whole, like, you go to this other island, you have to do this whole, like, big expansion. But the big twist is Jack of Blades' soul lives in a mask. So now he has somehow gotten his mask onto a dragon. So you have to kill this dragon. Once you kill the dragon, it's like the biggest fuck you in a video game I've ever played because it was it's great. You take so after you kill him, the mask starts floating in front of you and starts promising you like
everything you
want and power and everything. So if you decide to do the most evil, like if you make this decision, you're forever evil. You can never be good again.
Mm-hmm.
So you grab the mask, you put it on, you get this fucking like huge power up, and you're like fuck going Super Saiyan basically. And then whose voice comes out of your body? Jack of Blades. You spent all this time killing him because you didn't know that this was like the thing.
Yeah.
You spend all your time killing him. You're like, yeah, I finally killed him. Put on the mask, and you bring him back to life.
He becomes you.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
What would you expect? It's a cursed mask.
I don't know. I was stupid.
You were a kid.
Yeah, but
I was young. I became the Jack of Trades.
Blades. But
whatever.
I was so fucking pissed. But it was awesome. It was like a great pissed off. Like,
that's fair.
Motherfucker.
How old were you when you played this?
Oh, I played it. I played it so many times. I don't know.
Well, like the first time you played it.
Matt, when did we start playing this? Middle school. Yeah, because that's when Matt
like
and I became friends.
12 to 14.
Yeah, Matt and I became friends in middle school, so.
All right, cool. That was your number 3?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, my number 3 is actually not a Super Nintendo game.
Well, look at you coming up in the world.
But it's Fallout 3.
How did I not guess that?
That it'd be on my list.
Yeah, I didn't guess that.
I only have it on here. I mean, it's probably the most recent game that has super influenced me as like a gamer.
Yeah.
Because I never really enjoyed a lot of like first person type games, especially like or even like
you still don't.
No, it's like literally Fallout's like
the
exception. The exception to the rule.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because like the quirky world that Fallout is. But like I can still like I've gotten more accustomed to playing like first person type games and shooters and stuff because like we went through all of Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
You know? But I accredited that to Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And
also because that you have the decision there.
Yeah.
To do it the way you want to.
Exactly. And that was like a fun thing. And like it was the first RPG. It's not an RPG. I was like, it's not a JRPG. It's an RPG. It was the first RPG that I played outside of like a JRPG setting that I was like, oh, I get it now. Like, because a lot of people are like, Jacob, if you like these like like Final Fantasy or whatnot, you'll probably enjoy like the leveling up mechanics with these type of games like Mass Effect and whatnot. But I never really got into Mass Effect.
I kind of think I know why for you specifically.
For Fallout?
Well, why Fallout really grabbed your attention. It's zany.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. Mass Effect takes itself a little too seriously, which is fun. I mean, Mass Effect's great. Mass Effect's an amazing game, but it is a very serious game. Fallout's bananas.
Dude, I love this. Its entire whole, like, it's like an alternate reality where, like, the 40s just evolved, or the 50s evolved as the Industrial Revolution, just kind of like
there's a name for the aesthetic. I can't remember what it is.
Well, it's like steampunkish.
Yeah, but it's like it's like in that.
It's
vein.
like it's like industrial old school or something. Yeah,
that's like retro atomic or something like that. I think that's what it's called, retro atomic.
And it's just like I love that, like when you're I'm forgetting the your points. Your what is it? Your VATS. No, not VATS. Is it special? No.
Yeah, special. SPE. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, strength, perception.
Yeah.
By the way, the 2011 that was the MMO.
That makes sense.
Okay. Anyways,
that's Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
people. That's what he's gesturing at.
I just saw the action massively multiplayer.
Oh, the MMO thing. Yeah, cool. Okay. But yeah, Fallout 3, and I played it late too. Like I played Fallout 3 while Fallout 4 was like in the almost ending. Yeah, because I didn't know. I don't think was it on PlayStation 3 or was it an Xbox exclusive? I don't think Fallout came out. I think Fallout 4 may have been the first PlayStation.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But
because I know Kevin was really into it.
I remember an old roommate of mine left his Xbox 360 at my apartment and just like never came back for it. And I just had it sitting there for a very long time. And when I finally moved, I was like, well, I'm moving. I guess I'm going to take this with me. And then like realized he had Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And I was like, oh, Well, let's just hook up this Xbox and whatnot, and it was like a really old Xbox. It's like one of the first Xboxes.
I want to say it was Xbox only.
I think it was, which would be why I never got to play it.
That makes sense to me.
And then I played Fallout 3. I'm like, this game is awesome. And then I played a little bit of New Vegas. It wasn't as big as a fan of New Vegas. And then
what?
I just felt like the decision making was too vast.
To like left or right, black and white.
Yeah, because like as soon as you I really didn't like as soon as you maybe made a deal with like the Legion or whatever.
That was like it.
That was it. And then all of a sudden like you would just be walking around, and all of a sudden
man, you're kind of the odd man out on that.
The Brotherhood just comes running after you. I'm like, I was just in a desert. Where the fuck did they come from? How do they know I'm part of the Legion? I just made this deal.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like I want there to be. It was like
that's kind of the problem with Fallout 4 too.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
It's like I really want there to be. It's like when you make that choice, like people have to be like you have to maybe the more you do, the more you're going to be recognized as a Legion member or as a Ravager or as this or as that.
Build a reputation.
Yeah,
mechanic.
And Fable has a little bit of that. You were just talking about, and or even still. So then you can maybe you could sly and play both sides somehow.
Double agent.
Yeah, and then it's but it makes it harder on the choice of well, what were you doing over there? It's well, and then you have to lie. Maybe hopefully your lie is super fucking good and shit.
Yeah, I mean but also that's just and this is something I've always wanted Bethesda to work on. Their whole guild faction lines are so on their own, it gets really annoying. They're you're saying there is no mechanic of you playing double agent really. I mean, I guess Fallout 4 kind of, because you can go into the syndicate.
I mean, Fallout 4 you can literally just join all of them except for you by the end of it you have to choose one.
Yeah, and then eradicate the others.
Yeah, exactly. So in Fallout 4 it's you in order to buff your character out the most, you want to complete every single faction's missions up to the point to where
it's the final decision.
The final decision with who you decide to place that teleport thing to go to the Institute. Yeah. And then even in there, the Institute, you have even another choice, the Institute or the other one that you chose.
Yeah. Gives you a lot of chances.
Yeah. But I mean, I will say Fallout 4 storyline is one of my most favorites. And New Vegas
Fallout 3 is the water, right?
Yeah.
It's in Washington. You're trying to
Washington D.C.
You poison or cure the water radiation.
And you're trying to find your father.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
And then New Vegas. I don't even remember the storyline.
Stop the Legion. I guess I don't remember.
I remember the weird robot that you just wake up and it's just stalking you.
Oh, that was cool. That was a cool DLC for 4. The building robot shit. I loved that.
Yeah,
that was cool. These big monsters.
There was kind of a fun, I do like the world of New Vegas. I will say because I feel like they started learning a lot more world building in New Vegas.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Fallout 4's map, it was really good. And
is there any rumor about a new one coming out? Or are they focusing on Elder Scrolls?
I think they're focusing on Elder Scrolls right now.
Probably.
I'm not sure. Anyhow. But yeah, that's my number 3.
That's a good one. I guess to just keep it with Bethesda, the Elder Scrolls.
That's your number 2?
Shout out, specifically Oblivion.
All right. Now I'm really curious what your number 1 is.
You have no idea.
I thought that was going to be your number 1.
Oh, really? No. It was close. It was close. Right. I thought Oblivion was really cool also because it was one of the first times I really felt like they took a PC game and put it on console very well. Playing it feels like a PC game because there's just stuff that you can do that you in Oblivion you can make spells once you get to a certain level of magic.
You can make spells in that? That's cool.
And you can make a fucking straight up what's it?
Kamikaze?
No.
Kamehameha wave?
Yeah, Kamehameha.
That happened again.
That noise? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's the computer and the...
Oh, in there?
Yeah.
But I remember once, it costs a lot of money, but you can make a fire, lightning, ice spell. It was completely overpowered.
I mean, that's awesome.
But it was cool, shit like that. And basically all that cool stuff, they really, really took away the power of in Skyrim.
Oh.
But you can make some crazy enchantments and just...
But Skyrim, you get super powerful in different ways. When you become a werewolf or a vampire.
No, but that they even made that suck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But isn't the shouting ability super good in Skyrim?
Yeah, I mean, if you really... I never used it. really. I never I just never really cared about it. There's a couple. There's like one that was called Ethereal where you could like turn it on and jump off a cliff and no, you wouldn't get any fall damage.
Oh,
so like if you're at the top of a mountain, you're like fuck it, I'm gonna jump off the waterfall. Like there we go.
That's cool.
I mean,
Assassin's Creed, fall in the hay.
yeah, basically. But no, just Oblivion was really cool, and I just think that Oblivion, the writing for the main quest was better. But I think weirdly more importantly to me, the writing for the side quests were really good.
In Oblivion, yeah.
Yeah, they were just way more interesting. But I think the biggest drawback is kind of like I was just saying with it, like it really bugged me that you could like become the leader of all these different guilds. You just basically become God among men in these games, but there's no like connection. Like you could become the leader of the Assassins, the Dark Brotherhood, and the leader of the Thieves Guild, but there was never anyone acknowledging that you were the leader of these very conflicting factions.
Oh yeah,
like the Thieves Guild, no killing. That's like the number one rule. You can steal whatever you want, don't steal from another thief member, and don't kill anyone. Dark Brotherhood, kill everyone. In sacrifice to our Dark Lord, like Sithis and the Dark Mother. Like it was like, and no one ever really acknowledges it, and that always really bugged me. And I kind of hope that they can make some kind of like intermingling between the two and the new one coming out in like 10 years, whenever that's released.
Right. Number 6. What's the name of it? You know, is it just right now? Is it just still Elder Scrolls 6?
I think it's more rumored. It's like Hammerfell. I think it's just going to be another one of the.
I really don't know any of the lore for.
It's another continent.
Yeah, of course.
Another country, like Skyrim.
Another world.
Yeah, it's just like a Hammerfell. I think is where the Bretons are from. But yeah, Oblivion. I just thought Oblivion was really great and dark and weird and pretty.
You have a lot of fantasy on your stuff.
Not my last one.
I think I know what your last one is now.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is...
Oh, and also on Oblivion, I went through like 3 copies. I have done... That is the only game...
Wow.
That is the only game I have literally done every single thing. I played it so much that they got ruined. So...
I didn't even know that was a possibility for things.
Yeah, they just like stopped working.
I mean, well, I've had some like video game cartridges just crap out because, you know... But like...
Yeah, I've had like 3 copies, I think.
But also but like Super Nintendo cartridges are fucking durable.
Yeah. Like, I never have to play Oblivion ever again.
That's something I just remembered. I think it was like, I was reading somewhere around like DS or 3DS or maybe it was Switch. These like the tiny little cartridges that Nintendo's been making are apparently getting to a point where like some of like the originals of them are deteriorating.
Because they're just so old.
They're so old and like the whatever materials they used to make them were so cheap.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So we may not have an entire generation of like
games
unless
they suddenly get emulated.
Yeah, which
Weird.
they're probably like a lot of them are probably emulated now, or like you know there's stuff sounding.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is Super Mario World, and more like the Mario franchise, but definitely Super Mario World.
Was that on Super Nintendo?
It was the first Mario game on the Super Nintendo.
The one we both have, right?
Yeah. It's when the one that introduced Yoshi.
Right. Okay.
And I mean,
that game's amazing.
Yeah, Tommy can. It's one of the best, like in my opinion, one of the best video games ever made.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
The mechanics, the response time for a Super. It's like the Super Nintendo was a very surprising machine. It's the peak of its
era
of its era and its technology, and
Super Nintendo Mario World. Super
Mario World.
Thank you.
It's just Super Mario World.
Super Mario World really shines through on that system.
Yeah,
that's a good pick. That's a really good one.
Like it was. I mean, I definitely played a lot of like Super Mario 1 and Super Mario 2 and 3, you know, on the regular Nintendo and whatnot, and you know, beat them when I was younger. But I think it was Super Mario World that really kind of like I fell in love with. Like I wanted to get everything. And like it was one of the first games that I kept like discovering like, oh, there's secret worlds over here. There's like, because in 1, 2, and 3, there's like warp pipes for you to discover and stuff. But like for like Star Road, like it just like it opened up an entirely different idea of like what Mario could be for me.
Did you ever play with Sean?
A little bit. He was next level.
He was crazy in that game.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, it was. I mean,
I could power through a level kind of like him. Like the first couple levels, I can, but he definitely had like a lot more of like the juggling mechanic down of like bouncing off each enemy through everything, which That's a
big game too. I just realized.
Yeah,
it's
a
long.
That's
Mario
what I'm talking
game.
about, dude.
That's a big game.
I don't think
I'm just thinking of the map. Like,
I don't think I can beat that in under 24 hours with everything, like doing everything, because some of those levels are still like intense as fuck. Like it's in the Star World. Holy crap!
Yeah,
and actually Bowser is one of my favorite end boss battles of all time.
I never gotten there.
You never got to Bowser's Castle?
No, I'm in Bowser's Castle.
Oh, damn.
But I haven't gotten to Bowser. Like, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I mean, so the mechanic, like, it takes a minute to realize the mechanic of how to beat him, and it's really good about timing with it, because he's just like in his like weird like floating thing. I can't remember the name of what it's called. There's a specific name for it. Sorry, Mario people out there that know it. I'm a failure.
At you.
But like he's throwing down the Bowser bombs that like jump at you, and you have to jump on them, and then they get flattened out, and you have to pick it up and then toss it up and time it for it to throw up and land on top of his head as he's swooping back and forth. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
And it's just like, it just gets intense. And it's super, I shouldn't say basic. It's super simple on like how to do it. But when I first played, I'm like, how the fuck, like I can't jump up and jump on him. How do I do this?
Yeah, totally.
And then I realized like, oh no, I got to pick up these bombs, like flatten them and then throw them up at him. It was, really fun.
I guess in that vein too, a shout out would be a good one is Donkey Kong Country.
I mean, yeah, Donkey Kong Country. I was thinking about that, but I mean, it's like,
but Mario's better.
I really, really like Donkey Kong.
Country is hard.
I've beaten all of them.
Oh, I'm just saying Donkey Kong Country, like that for the Super Nintendo. That's a fucking hard game.
Yeah, the first one is pretty rough. The second one is kind of like the gold gem of all of it.
And the music's great.
Yeah. A lot of people think that the third one sucks, but I think the third one is the hidden gem and all of it. A lot of people just didn't like the big baby character. Baby.
It's so weird how people just like, I hate that character. I hate this game.
Yeah. But like I think that 3 they really opened up the world, the traveling of the world a lot better. I don't know. I think 3 is amazing out of the Donkey Kong Country series. In a weird way, I kind of want to put Donkey Kong Country as number 2 as well. But actually, I feel like I should have Donkey Kong Country as a shout out as well.
Yeah, that's why I was like, just for that, like those both were really showed off. Well, because also just the art style differences, like that also showed off how like good it can look on the Super Nintendo, because that game looked rad.
Oh yeah,
with the 3D the worlds like painted on. It was like awesome, and the underwater levels were great. Like it was just that was just a really fun game.
Yeah,
and the bad guys, like the big wasps and everything, like the creature creating was cool.
Yeah, because they took the idea of a jungle and like
and really ran with it with like big Jumanji. It's like you're running around as Jumanji as Donkey Kong basically.
It's Donkey Kong's country.
Totally. Okay, Super Mario World. That's a good one. That's a good number 2. Do you want to try and guess what my number 1 is?
Assassin's Creed.
Nope.
Damn.
My number 1 is the Red Dead franchise.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead Redemption 2, specifically Red Dead Redemption 1, because that was one of the first games that the ending got me so really fucking hard. Because I can spoil that, right?
Yeah.
In the first Red Dead Redemption, where you play as John Marston, he sacrifices himself for his family, and it is this wonderful moment of despair as the player, where you realize this character that you have watched grown and went through all these very emotional moments is going to die, and there's nothing you can do about it except take as many of the motherfuckers with you. And it's intense and amazing. And then, like, after the credits, being able to play as his son visiting his tomb, his gravesite.
I wonder why people like didn't realize that
you can play as Jack afterwards,
and
you can go get revenge on the
because like
the cops that betrayed him.
I wonder how people like actually did you like sit through the credits, or could you skip through?
I remember sitting through them, because that was also the reason I did that is because, jumping back to Fable, you could not keep playing after the main boss unless you sat through the credits.
Oh, okay.
So I was really paranoid about that for a long time. So I sat through all credits.
I always sat through credits.
I know. But at the time I didn't. But after I played Fable and I found out that you can't keep playing after you skip those, you have to watch them. It's kind of like a reward, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so then you can play as Jack, and you're at his gravesite and you go hunt down the 2 cops that killed your father.
That's so cool.
It's fucking. It was so cowboy. I was like, this is amazing.
Was that the first game you ever played that you actually had an emotional reaction to?
That's the first one I remember.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly being like, huh? What? No. Like, John. Yeah. And then Red Dead Redemption 2 is just a masterpiece of a game.
Number 2.
Yeah. It's just.
I still need to play it.
It's a masterpiece. It's amazing. It's a simulator. It's crazy. It's the amount of detail on that shit is just insane.
Too much detail.
And then Red Dead Revolver is just a real fun cowboy shoot 'em up kind of.
Is that still Rockstar before?
I believe so. It was on the original Xbox.
Okay.
It has no real connection.
You play story connection. But...
No, because you play as Red.
Okay.
That's the cowboy's name, and he's called that because it's just a Western revenge story. Bad guy kills your parents, and then
is it
takes
still
a knife
kind of in
and,
in a feel of like a GTA game as well?
Not really.
Okay.
Not as much. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Old
old school
Vice
GTA.
City kind of feel.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
kind of like that kind of.
Okay, but still very much cowboy-esque.
Like I'll probably never play it again.
Fair.
It's just too old. I'm like, no, I'd rather just play Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my number one. That game was just. If you haven't play that fucking franchise, man. They're good.
I was actually expecting Elder Scrolls to be your number one, but actually Red Dead does make sense.
Yeah, it's just, and I mean, I wonder actually if it.
I just forgot about Red Dead because it's not a game that I really think about.
I heard that they're going to remaster the first one.
Didn't they kind of do that at the end of Red Dead 2?
Yeah, well, so Red Dead 2 is the prequel.
Yeah.
So then you kind of play as John right before the situation happens of Red Dead. So you probably should play. I don't know. I would say play 2 and then 1, but the mechanics of 2 are just so much better. It would be kind of weird to.
It's kind of hard to go backwards like that nowadays.
Yeah, it would be so simple. I feel like you might be it might be jarring. You know,
it's that's why I think I'm having I couldn't really finish the first Ori because the mechanics were just a little bit different and just a little bit not as good as the second Ori.
I feel like I would say play the first one. I mean, and that's how it was made.
I don't even want to play the first. If I'm going to play, I'm just going to play the second one.
Okay.
Because I don't have any. Because that's a lot of gameplay.
Oh, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 also had the Undead Nightmares DLC, which turns into fucking zombie cowboy shit, which was really cool.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
The game abruptly stops. Like basically, it stops in the middle and it goes on this complete crazy trajectory.
It's a new timeline. Yeah. Thank you, Loki.
It was really a variant level.
All right.
And your last one?
All right.
Number one for Jacob Henthorn.
My number one, I couldn't really. I kind of cheated a little bit here.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I couldn't decide on a game or a franchise. I had to do a publishing company.
Huh.
Square Enix. And because Square Enix has published...
That wasn't part of the arrangement.
Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior, or Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, all of the JRPGs that shaped my childhood.
Kingdom
Hearts, yeah.
Avengers?
Yeah, but I mean, more specifically, I mean, if I really want to get really specific, it's more Squaresoft, because, I mean, the Squaresoft games that I own for Super Nintendo right now, my cartridges, I own Final Fantasy II, I own Breath of Fire, I own Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, I had Super Mario Legend of the Seven Stars, so many, and then for Enix on my regular Nintendo, and then Squaresoft theirs, Final Fantasy 1 for the regular Nintendo, Dragon Warrior 1, 2, 3, 4, and Dragon Warrior, I would say Dragon Warrior 4 was my first completed JRPG. Mm-hmm. And that's really what was these games are amazing. This ability to tell a story and fight monsters like this, choose you feel like you're the hero throughout everything and whatnot. Yeah. And the storytelling in Dragon Warrior or in Dragon Quest 4 is just ahead of its time. Like, it came out on the regular Nintendo while the Super Nintendo was coming out, or had already come out, and it stopped people from playing their Super Nintendo and went back to the regular Nintendo to play this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And then, like, playing Final Fantasy 2/4 and 3/6, like, again,
That
just...
made my brain hurt.
Yeah. Because in America, they were released as 2 and 3, but, like, nationally, they were 4 and 6.
Okay.
Because the original 2 and 3 on the Famicom weren't released in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That made my headache go away.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And like those games, again, like storyline wise, were just like super influential. Like, I would play these games over and over and over again because I love these characters. I love the challenges. I love finding new ways to, like, you know, kind of break the game a little bit and stuff. There was, like, or in 6, like, there's so many, like, hidden characters and little things where it's like every time I'd play, like, oh, that's how I get that treasure chest. Oh, that's how I get to this area. That's how I get this Esper. Chrono Trigger was the first game to have multiple endings. You beat it, and then New Game Plus appears. What is that? Choose New Game Plus, choose your file. You start at the very beginning of the game with every single item and your level from your previous save. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you walk up into this area, and it's like, oh, and by the way, you can just go and fight the main boss, the end boss of the game right now. Just go click that bucket over there, and then go and fight him by yourself. As the one character, and then you do that, and you get a different ending. And then since the game is entire time based, every time you unlock a new time era and you can go and fight Lavos, you have a new ending. There's 13 different endings to this Super Nintendo game.
Wow.
Like, it is mind blowing, and like, I fell in love with this idea of turn based RPGs and this storytelling, and it's all because of Squaresoft, Square Enix. Like, this publishing company has probably been one of the most influential things on me as a gamer ever.
Right on.
Yeah,
That's why fine. You can cheat.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting there. I'm like, because like
you made a good point.
Otherwise, my list was gonna be Dragon Warrior 4, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 6. Chrono Trigger, Super Mario, like, it was going to be like all these JRPGs, and I'm like, I'm so much more than just a JRPG player.
Yeah.
You know? Which also, it's kind of like, I love all these JRPGs, and I hate MMOs. Which I think makes sense because MMO is a lot more...
It's different.
Yeah, it is different. It's a lot more... team-based is a good way to put it.
And it's a lot of grinding.
Well, I love grinding.
You love grinding. You're psycho.
Because that's what JRPGs was grinding. You do it so much grinding. No, MMOs, I just don't... It's like, you have to, like, create... you have to, like, make... You can't create your own team. Like, I got so used to being like, well, I want this character, and this character, and I want to customize them this way to make sure that this battle is going to be easier for me. When you go into MMO... You have to, like, find people to, like, be that type of, like, player. Like, either, like, a healer or so, you know, find them, be friends with them. And then also, like, I never really had heads. Like, I never liked the talking to strangers. I was like, stranger danger.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, yeah. Again, like I said, I think it's almost a cop-out, but really...
But it makes sense.
This publishing company, like, this game, like, Square Enix, as I like to call it, has been a big part of my life since I was 8 years old, if not younger.
Wow. Well, yeah, like I said, you made it work.
Yeah.
I guess that's everything.
Yeah, we got through it all, guys.
Well, thanks for listening, as always.
Yeah, if you guys have any, like, let us know what video games, if you're a gamer, like, you know, what games really, like, got you going.
Or if you think we're complete idiots for our list. I'd like to know.
No, I mean, we're passionate about it. You know, people like to hear people be passionate.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, like, subscribe, throw us a comment here or there, throw us some likes.
Yeah. Throw some shares or something.
Yeah.
You know? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And next week we'll be doing a review again. Yeah. We'll figure that out actually today.
Yes, that will be today. Well, this is Tommy.
And this is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.